Hi, Miss Kathy. This is my new invention, and I hope you like it. It's kind of like an airship. If you've ever seen a blimp before, or seen a picture, that's what it's kind of like. But it's different because it's electric powered, which electric powered planes have been getting really popular. So I was thinking, why not make a solar electric powered plane? Then after that, I was like, those have already been made. So what if I make a solar electric powered airship? Which personally I think is pretty amazing. Not to toot my own horn, but beep, 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 beep. Anyway, this is what it might look like. It'll look like an airship or a blimp. If you've ever seen one of these before, they just look amazing. It's one of my favorite things, especially the steampunk era airships like this one here. And I was thinking, why not bring this into real life instead of just being fantasy? It can be reality. So here are some plans of a real blimp, and they look way different from the steampunk plans, mainly because the steampunk is just way too heavy. Unless you use carbon fiber and aircraft-grade aluminum. This may make it light enough to actually fly. But then the problem is maneuverability and practicality, because people aren't actually going to use these if they're not practical. Other than like super rich people who spend their money on strange things. But if I can make it practical and cheap, which may contradict the carbon fiber and aircraft grade aluminum idea. But if I can make it cheap enough and practical enough to use these instead of planes, that would be amazing, because then we'd save millions of gallons in fuel every year. Because we use jets, basically, to get anywhere. Not like we use cars, but they're pretty common forms of transportation. And these things burn a ton of fuel. If we can get away from burning that much fuel, even if it is a little bit slower to get from place to place, it would just help our ecosystem immensely. And the best part is that it would cost basically nothing to fly, because it's powered by the sun. So if you ran out of fuel, you'd just sit there, I guess, till you started plummeting to the earth. But I guess what I'm trying to say is you'd sit there and then you just get recharged by the sun, or you'd have to make an emergency landing, which the bubble that holds all the hot air acts as a parachute, I guess. Also, I did not explain how I will heat the air. I was thinking electric burners like you have on your stove or your oven. The way that those work is the coils heat up red hot and they make the oven warm. So if I could implement that instead of burning fuels, just use electricity to heat wires, to heat the air inside of the blimp, that would give it lift. And then for propulsion, I would use a propeller, like this one. Thank you for listening to my idea. I think it's cool, but you might not. It definitely might help with the burning of fossil fuels and stuff like that, but I don't know. So, bye. I hope you enjoyed my video on blimps and how I would improve them, make them more practical for the modern age. Thank you for listening to my idea. Sorry, I kind of ramble sometimes. But see you in the next video. So, bye.